Okay, guys, we are about to get started. Just give me one sec. Okay, I think we are live everywhere. Yay! I will show my face shortly, so bear with me. I see some of you have joined, so thank you so much. We are just getting started. I am going to let you know that I can't see everything. I am streaming for the first time on Riverside, and I've got another screen open. So we are going to do this, but I am going to try not to start this off by crying. But thank you for joining me today. I am so excited to be here and so excited to have you here with me. 100 days ago, I had no plan. And to be honest, somebody I know invited me to do this 100-day content challenge, and they didn't actually do the challenge. And it was almost like God set me up to do it. And I was like, well, maybe this will push me outside my comfort zone. Maybe something will happen. What am I going to do? And so I was like, well, I guess we're just going to go all in. And so I just started making content, and I said, here I am in my bedroom. So we're in my bedroom, which is my office right now. And I said, we're going to document my becoming and we're going to see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen. And we're just going to trust that God has a plan in all of this. And I had no idea what was actually going to happen. The only thing I had on my calendar between it started in April till July 9th, was I knew we were going to Disney for the first time when I was taking Brooklyn. So I was like so excited about that. But that was literally all that I had on my calendar aside from, everyday life, being a mom, working full time. That was kind of it. And when thinking about it, I took an entire year off last year. My word for the year was Jubilee. And I really felt like I was supposed to rest for an entire year, not take on anything new at all, and rest the land for future harvest. I didn't really know fully what that meant. I just knew that's what God asked. Because at that point, I had lost 2 fitness studios. The fitness business I had built everything around of, including my identity. And at this point, I had also already filed for bankruptcy, and I was living in the middle of it. And if you're new here, bankruptcy wasn't something that I wanted to do, obviously, but I was being sued due to a house deal falling through, and it was really my only way out. I had a credit score of, we're having technical difficulties, sorry. I had a credit score of 800 when I filed, which is like unheard of to claim bankruptcy with. And I was kind of devastated, and a lot of my identity was wrapped up in that, and I felt so much shame around of it. So after taking that year off rest, I was like, okay, God, what are we doing next? And so my word for this year was cultivate. And it wasn't to build something new, it was to nurture what I already had. Everything that God had already given me, the way that He had made, because my prayer while living in my mom's basement after starting all over again at 39, with Brooklyn in tow, who was 1.5, I just kept saying, God, please make a way where it seems like there was no way. And I, in the last several weeks, have been brought back to those moments of absolute desperation of not even knowing what to do with myself because it just felt so dark and I wasn't sure I was ever going to see my way out. I remember feeling so overwhelmed, and I felt it was really debilitating, and yet I still had to keep going. I was a mom. I was still trying to run a business back then, and I really had no idea what to do. I just had to keep taking one step at a time and really learn how to have peace even in the middle of the storm, and I also did not think that that was possible. And while I have some really strong pillars in my life, my mom and my best friend and a few close girlfriends, even with all of that, I still felt like I needed more, and I just needed to feel embraced. I needed to feel seen, I needed to feel heard, and I needed somebody to say, "Man, this is hard, and I'm so sorry. I'm here for you." And that was kind of like it. Um, and so I just remember feeling so hungry for wanting to have community and having no idea how to get that, where to get that. And everything I tried just kind of fell flat, and I left disappointed. And so my hope is really that this room that we're opening today is that for you, is that it feels like a gentle hug, and somewhere you can show up exactly as you are and focus on healing and focus on growth at your own pace. I think the other thing I was really mindful of is when I was in my deepest, darkest spots, I kept feeling like everything I would attend meant like a weekly commitment or multiple times a week. And it just felt so intense. I was like, I don't even have capacity to show up somewhere for a week, every week. And so thinking of those things, I wanted to be really mindful and tense and intentional, um, of what other women might be walking through and a pace that would feel comfortable to you as well. Also, since the 100 days, moving was not on the radar, and now I am moving August 1st, and it literally is a miracle that this place has opened up and what it looks like. And it's literally everything that I had been dreaming and asking God for. The room is officially opening tonight for you to come and join. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, I also got my laugh back, which makes me so emotional because finding real joy that was not performed has been something that I've been pursuing and just felt like I couldn't actualize it in my life. And so even tonight, as I was preparing for tonight, I was nervous, I'm not going to lie. And the only thing that I wanted to do was lay in my bed, watch good show with Brooklyn, have lots of snuggles and lots of laugh because she is my joy. And so being able to have those moments even before showing up live in front of you guys, um, that's the stuff that I want to make sure that is part of life. None of this has been showing up as a highlight reel. I think I've been very honest about how hard things have been. This week, even so many intense things have happened, and my nerves have been kind of a mess. Up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just because my nervous system is trying to regulate after some other things that came up. But here's the true thing. I just keep going one step at a time, trusting God step by step. Um, and that's my hope, is to be able to impart that to you as well. So here's what I need you to know about what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to actually show you what it looks like on the inside, but I didn't build this room from a guess about what women need. You told me. Every single response that I received from the survey that I sent out over the last week, some version of the same thing came out. I am carrying most of this on my own. And that is a heavy burden. And I know the pain of that feeling and feeling like you don't have anybody else to support, or people are tired of hearing what you have going on. Um, and also, oh, you're strong, you'll get through it. That was probably one of my least favorite things people would say. Yes, I know I'm strong, but I'm tired of having to be strong. Holding it together for everyone else and running on nothing yourself is so hard. And that stress isn't really about the number in your account. It isn't about wanting the noise in your head to stop just being so loud. It's so heavy. Um, One of you even told me that you're not even sure that you even believe or have faith yet. You just have a feeling that maybe you should look into it. And if that's you tonight, or you have a similar feeling of like, well, I haven't identified to my faith. Is this for me? Am I too early for this room? No, you're exactly on time. This is a safe place to explore, to figure out maybe something you might need. Um, Nobody ever wrote in that survey asking for a course or a coach or needing the next 5 steps. Every answer was some version of, I just don't want to carry this by myself anymore. Hi, guys. I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so appreciative of it. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to share my screen to show you what it looks like on the inside of the Becoming Collective that I have very intentionally created and I hope you will see how intentional it was. So give me 1 second. So, the Becoming Collective is hosted in Circle, and very easy platform to use. You have a few different ways to use it. So, one on your computer, if that's the way you want to consume it. You also then have the option to download Android or the iOS app. Um, and you're going to start here in the feed, and the feed has everything that's going on in the room. Obviously, it's just me so far because we're just opening the doors tonight. And I'm just going to go through what each room is so that you have an idea of what's inside. So, the front door, this is where you're going to start. And this is where we don't want to skip. This is where you're going to come in and you're going to see our community guidelines, the things that are really important. Also, a welcome video from me so you can understand what to expect. And then the next step to go into the theology and the foundation of the becoming. And this is the space where you come in through the front door and kind of get the lay of the land. We've then got the living room, and this is the community feeds, the main gathering place. This is the come as you are, no agenda, no performing, just you as you are. So this is where you can introduce yourself, share a photo if you want, maybe share about where you are in your own journey. This is where you can also come as we continue to grow to connect with other women. That's really my hope, is that you'll be able to connect with other women that you're going to meet on some of our live events as well. Our becoming moments. So this is really moments that are you want to celebrate and you want people to celebrate along with you. It can be big, it can be small, it can be I took the next step. It can be I made the hard decision. It can be I made a boundary. It can be I booked a vacation. Whatever it is that feels like a win for you, as well as sharing your prayers so that we can share what God is doing, but also hold the space for prayer. I will personally be praying for the personal requests that prayer requests that come through here. I then have extra material for you. So this is the study where resources will continue to be poured out for you based on requests that you guys have, areas that you want to work through, that you need some extra support in, starting from where do you even start when it comes to your faith journey? Where do you even start when you're on your healing journey? This, however, is probably my favorite part, and it is the Friday night Bible study, which will be held on the third Friday of every month at 7:30 p.m. Toronto time, till 9 p.m. I was gonna put 8:30, but I know we'll probably go over. But this is a way that you can show up, see each other on camera. I'll be leading a Bible study and a girls' night. It'll be good vibes, lots of fun. And we're going to actually start our first one next Friday. So I wanted to kick off the opening of the collective with having something pretty quick in terms of an event. And that'll be held once a month. And as you can see, they're already all scheduled. You RSVP that you're coming, and you get the link, and we'll see you there. Lots of exciting things to come with that. Then I have some additional resources for you. So this is the Becoming Foundation. This is the theology and framework behind the Becoming. So just understanding, that you're in the right place, about your identity, that you're not behind and it's okay to still be in it and not striving for perfection, why you're not supposed to do this alone and how we really do need each other. And we don't just want to read, we want to actually take action in our life. So all of these lessons are built in bite-sized pieces. So you're not reading for hours on end, and they're meant so that you can do them on the go when you have time. Also very exciting, I have built podcast companions, so all episodes are already there, including the ones that are going to be through to the end of July. And what's in here is a short lesson to go through each episode with some reflection questions, journal prompts, and just some things to be mindful of. Because every episode that I've recorded, I don't know if you know this or not, is super intentional. And I've gone to God and asked him, what am I supposed to talk about each episode that I do? And usually they're things that he's taught me, things I've walked through, and things I've learned in my own journey. And my hope is to impart that on your own journey as well. Then I've got weekly devotionals as well. So we've started with a few here. And every week I'll be dropping a new devotional here as well. Again, bite-sized pieces with reflection and journal prompts that you can work through of the week. And then also a Bible study library that will continue to evolve as well. So I've got the first little course in here where you can, I don't even know where to begin. So as you can see in the language, I've tried to be very clear on what we're actually going to be talking about, how I'm going to be able to help. You can also view it in the courses section so you can kind of see where things are at, work at what you want as they come around. You also have the events section, which will show your live Friday events. And then Members, this is where you can actually connect with other members. And this is something I'm so excited about. You can, when you sign up, you can ask your profile to be hidden from the membership directory. So if you're not wanting to connect with women or you want to change it down the road and want to, you can. But literally, you go in and you connect with other women. And that is how you can also connect with other people who might be in a similar journey as you. And I think that that is really important in this whole process and getting to meet other people, and especially as we're going to be connecting on live, and really seeing people who you resonate with, or somebody who shared something that was like really inspirational for you, or you could encourage somebody else. Like, my goal is that our community is going to be able to support one another. I just dropped the link in the comments, or I guess it's, yeah, I guess in the comments. It is also in my bio. I will be sharing it as well. It's also linked on the live, and I'm sorry you guys on Instagram are seeing part of the screen. Um, I am going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Um, I'm happy to take any questions that you guys have if you're here. Um, I'm gonna go through a few more things. Just give me 1 second. Guys, this is my first time in a very long time doing lives. I used to teach 10 live virtual fitness classes a week, which was like twice a day. So we're new getting back there. So you're probably asking me, who is this even for, right? So um, here's what I know. I've built things before without knowing or not be really sure on what I was building. And I was trying in my own strength. This one, I know for sure. I'm building something that I know women need because women have told me that they need it and they need support and they don't want to feel alone. But who is this for? So if you are somebody who said, I'm fine to 3 different people today, and you're not even sure how much longer you can keep that up, this room is definitely for you. Likely people pleasers as well, who need to take a step back and recalibrate and figure out what it is that they want in life. Um, and not pleasing everybody, because pleasing everybody is making you believe that what you want actually doesn't matter, and it absolutely matters. For those who are faith curious, you don't have to already believe to be welcome here. You just have to be willing to wander. And I think that that's really important. This is a safe place to ask questions. I'll also be popping in and doing additional lives within the community as well, to ask questions that people need help with, or kind of like office hours of, if you have some time and you want to drop in and ask some questions, that's what I want to be here for. One thing that this is not, this isn't a course you finish or shelf. This is a room you keep coming back to that holds you. And I really want you to understand that. And it's going to grow. So this is where we are now, with one live virtual event. And hopefully we'll be able to have in-person events or retreats down the road. But we got to start somewhere. And so I really wanted to create an experience that you were going to be able to come back to, be excited to come back to, connect with other women, and not feel so alone in this journey, because I know how hard that can be. Big question I always get asked, but Sarah, how much does it cost? So I've done this really affordable, $37 a month. I understand that that is real money, and it's a budget line item. So I'm not going to pretend that it's not. I just believe that this room is worth building into your life. Also know that you're not locked into a contract and you can cancel at any time. I will also say that that $37 a month rate is only for the first 100 members. You will be the founding members. You will be locked in at that rate. And so I would, if you're thinking, I think this is for me, lock in that rate, get in that $37, because it will go up. But I really want you to be able to get in from the ground up, and also be able to contribute to what it is that you need. And because if you have a request, there's other people who probably have requests, and it is okay to ask for those things. One of the things when you get in the room as well is a survey of, where are you in your season? How can I help? What do you need? What does support look like for you? What do you envision life looking like? Where do you want to get to? What are you struggling with? And sitting with those things so that we can actually process them out and start getting you to a place of, oh, okay, things might be hard. I can take one step at a time. I can trust one step at a time. God has got me, and it's going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it's okay. And you're talking to the girl, or the girl's talking to you, who is still in an active bankruptcy, who is still trying to rebuild life. And somehow I've learned to be able to rely on God even today. Guys, if you could hear my voice notes with my bestie today and my anxiety through the roof, and like not being able to sleep, not all of it has to do with like the launch and a lot of pressure and excitement around it, but like other bad things happening this week. Like, it hasn't stopped, but here I am, just continuing to show up and trust that God has a plan, and he has me and us in this. Um, So if you want in, here's exactly what it looks like. I'm just going to show my screen again. Give me one sec. So you will first be, you can go to my website first, thesarahtaylor.com. This is what the page looks like. So again, thesarahtaylor.com. When you land on the page, you will see right away, you will see the Becoming Collective. I will show you. This is what it looks like, my homepage. You can listen to the podcast directly from here or join the Becoming Collective. There's lots of other things here too as well. But if we're going to go into the collective, you're going to join the Becoming Collective. You'll see all the information here, what it's about, why it's different, what's on the inside. So it goes through each of those rooms again so that you have a good understanding. All of the details, who's the room for, what changes, what's the transformation you can expect as we go through here, as well as the founding rate. So if you're ready to get started, you hit get started. It's going to take you to this screen. I'm just switching screens. So it's going to take you to this screen. And this is where you put in your payment information. So it gives you what's included. And then once you are processed, you will go right into the community. And so there is a welcome process for you as you onboard. And so you'll receive a message from me, you'll receive an email where everything is, and be able to be guided on your way, and always the next step. So you're not like, where do I go? What do I do? So introducing yourself, understanding the lay of the land, all of that kind of thing as well. Again, if you guys are live and have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I will also just say, I want to remind you that next Friday, which is just over a week away, is our first live gathering inside. So Friday night, Bible study and girls' night. It'll be the third Friday of every month. They're already all scheduled out until the end of the year. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, so Toronto time. And the first session is going to be called We're Not Carrying It Alone. I really want us to figure out together what that means and what that feels like, and ensure that you can allow somebody else to possibly help carry the load, or even just express that your load is heavy and getting it out and having a shoulder to rely on in that. So if something I said tonight struck you, whether it's where you're at or things you thought, this isn't an accident. You're here on purpose. And it's really the same thread of what I shared about in the podcast episode, and really the whole premise around why the Becoming Collective was created. And I really hope that you're able to join us for the first one. So you'll want to make sure to sign up before then in order to be able to get access, introduce yourself, all of that, and not watching the recap. I will say, just so you know, the recap, everything will be recorded and put in the community as well. So you'll always have a backlog of previous Bible